Hi there. Today, 12th, 13th of April 2025, we have a full moon in Libra. So full moons bring everything to the surface. They bring all the energy up for us, for things to come to fruition, for things to be ended, for things to be sorted, because they come to that sort of climax of time. And so it's really important to look at whatever sign of the zodiac the full moon is sitting in to see what part of our lives or what part of ourselves is going to be expanded on or brought to the surface at this time. So Libra rules relationships. So this is what's going to be coming up for everybody as the theme of this full moon. And because there are so many planets in Aries or very close to Aries, that means that they're impacting and making a challenging in some ways this full moon. They're opposing it, or they're forming other aspects to it that are going to challenge it in some way. So what this is really going to ask us all is to really take another look at the relationships that we involve ourselves in. This is romantic relationships as well as friendships, as well as work relationships. All of our relationships kind of come under the microscope at this time. And because we're dealing with the opposite sign to Libra is Aries. And so when we're looking at the effects of what's going to happen, if it's going to be a challenge, we're looking at the shadow side of this. So what could come up for a lot of people is looking at the relationships that you are being challenged by at this time, and whether they're bringing up within you feelings of making you feel like you're not good enough, that you can't be relied on, that you can't rely on yourself, that you can't go off and do your own thing and take knowledge or take whatever you've been learning and do something with it, and also that you can't be a leader of others. So those are all some of the sort of the shadowy things that might come up at the time of this full moon as we look at our relationships. And so it's really important that you don't compare yourself to other people, and that you don't feel when you're in a relationship of any sort that you might not be good enough for that relationship. Of course you're good enough for that relationship. You have done nothing wrong. But we're all going through learning. We're all being challenged by things. We're all getting things shown to us all the time that are meant to develop more of a sense of self-worth, more of a sense of self-esteem and self-belief. But 9 times out of 10, when we get challenged like this, we tend to back off and go, oh yeah, that just confirms the fact that I'm not really very good at this. I'm not as clever as I thought I was. I'm not as independent as I thought I was. I'm not the leader I thought I was. All of those things can come up at this time. So you've got to really look back to those things and look at what they taught you. Because the worst thing we can do when it comes to relationships is to start to shut down our heart, to start caring less or not letting anybody in, or not believing that we're worthy of love and being looked after and a special and cherished and nurtured and all of those things that we all deserve. Every single one of us deserve to be treated that way. So relationships are coming up for review, and you've got to make sure that you're not this one that's sabotaging your relationships. Make sure that you're not getting into a relationship with somebody, whatever type of relationship that might be, and then doing something to wreck it or challenge it or destroy it in some way because you don't think you're good enough for that relationship. And we all do this. It can be quite a pattern of self-sabotage. So remember, everything that you go through is about learning. Nothing is designed to hurt you or to make you feel bad as its end result. But that's sort of like what happens along the way. That's part of the learning. And so we have to accept that as part of the learning, but not get stuck in the emotion. So at the time of this full moon, if stuff comes up that makes you feel that you might not be good enough for a relationship, or that you've failed in some way, or that you're just a failure when it comes to relationships, full stop, whatever might come up for you, just see it for what it is. It's just showing you the shadow side and the fear that sits behind your partnerships and your relationships. So push it to one side. You are good enough. You have done nothing wrong. And it is time for you to enjoy yourself in any relationship that you are, knowing that whoever that person is that you're having the relationship with, they are good for you, or not. They may not be good for you, but you've attracted them to you to learn something. So if the relationship's not good, get out of it. If the relationship is good, cherish it, support it, make it better. Really grow in what your relationships are rather than allowing them to be the tools that you use against yourself. It's a time to celebrate. And the most important relationship that you will ever have in this lifetime is the relationship you have with yourself. So that will come up for a bit of review at the time of this full moon as well. So again, that shadow side of, am I good enough to love myself? Am I worthy of love? Do I deserve to be loved? Of course you do. Everybody deserves love. So let the full moon rise for you. Get all those crystals out there and give them a good charge in the full moon energy, but also charge yourself up. Charge yourself with self-belief, self-love, self-worth, and self-confidence. That's what the best use of this energy is. So I'll see you all again soon. Bye.